Hello again, everybody. This is the Biffster. It's been 2 weeks since my last video. When I recorded the last video, I said that I was pretty sure I was going to have a good weigh-in that week. And I did. I had a great weigh-in that week, had a great weigh-in this week. Final number, drumroll please, down 27 pounds total this year. 27! Anytime that I want to try and diminish or denigrate that achievement, think about going to the pet store and picking out a 25-pound bag of dog food for our puppy Miles. 25 pounds, that's a pretty hefty bag. That's a pretty significant amount of weight, and it's all gone from here. So yeah, I'm happy about that. One thing I've noticed as I've been going along week by week, it's getting harder to do this. It's getting harder to stay on track. It's getting harder to avoid the foods that tempt me. And it's not even really that I want them, they just tempt me. And this past week was especially hard. I've been finding myself every day wanting to say, ooh, I'm going to have just a little bit more syrup on pancakes. Nobody's going to be able to tell. Ooh, I'm going to sneak in a donut. Yeah, that one looks good. Ooh, I'm going to sneak in 4 tablespoons of creamer into my milk or into my coffee this morning instead of 2 because nobody will know and I'll get away from it. Woohoo! Then I stopped, scratched my head a little bit and said, who am I trying to trick here? Nobody really cares whether or not I have extra calories or extra goodies in a day. The only person that this impacts at all is me. And why in the world would I want to do that to myself? I have in the past had times of self-sabotage, and I'm always on the lookout for that. But then I always forget that there's times where it just doing something and being strong is hard. And there's weeks where that's going to happen. And there's days when that's going to happen. This past weekend on Saturday, I had a really rough day. Ended up going 15 points over my daily limit for, this is all Weight Watchers, all this jargon. Anyway, I had gotten very depressed and was really down on myself. Then I talked with my wife, Erin. Erin is, of course, always the voice of reason. And she pointed out to me, I've been getting 3-4 points every day, 3 or 4 activity points. So in 5 days, I've easily made up the extra 15 points that I had. People in Weight Watchers plans know that in addition to your daily points, you have 49 weekly points that you can either use or not use, however you want to go about it. I never use those. I just never get to that point. But since I haven't used those, they were available. 14 points would have left 35 in the bucket, and I still would have been fine. So, what I'm saying is, yes, it was a bad day, but I've more than made up for it, and I've been sticking to the program. My willpower has been strong, and I need to realize that there's going to be days where it's easy. There's going to be days where it takes everything that I have to stay on track. And there's going to be days when I have something or go overboard. I need to realize and let myself do this as long as I stay accountable for what I'm doing. And I think that's the key. Staying accountable. Oh, and also I want to continue on with the it's not worth it if it's not good. So like if I am going to cheat, if I'm going to have an extra 15 or use an extra 15 points and I do that for a luscious piece of carrot cake, fine, that was more than worth it. If I do that 15 points using for, I don't know, say a bottle of soda and a candy bar, no, I'm going to be pissed at myself, rightfully so, because that wasn't worth it. Anyway, I'll get off that topic for now. Speaking of foods, I've been finding it a little bit harder to stick with the normal foodstuffs that I have, especially for lunch. I have had a tendency of having a couple of high points values, which were peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or peanut butter and honey sandwiches, big bowls of cereal, and I've gotten into a rut and I'm trying to break myself out of it. Um, One cool little breakfast that I found, I'll describe this and then I'll wrap it up for the week. So I take a tortilla, get that nice and hot and warm and crispy. Put some refried beans, about a quarter cup, half a cup of refried beans, slather it onto the tortilla. Then take eggs. I take two because I have a lot of points. Could do this with one or one egg white, whatever. Fry them up, put them on top of the beans. Put some 505 chili sauce on top of that. Top it with an eighth cup or so of cheese. Let everything cook and melt together. Comes out lovely. Bifsters huevos rancheros. Excellent. So tasty. So filling. Nice mix of carbs and protein. I'll try and put the points values for that in the show notes. Anyway, I'm running late. I'm going to call this a day. Everybody, I hope you keep on keeping on, and we'll talk again next week. Peace.